The promise of the paperless office has been touted for more than 30 years, yet look around at most offices and what do you see? Paper, and lots of it. Let's face it, paper takes up a lot of space, and for years company paper and important documents have lived on our desks, in file cabinets, and in leased off-site storage space. Many of these documents that clutter our lives may not even have to be referenced in the future. Something else we must consider is that our important paper documents are susceptible to fire, theft, and water damage. Although paper will continue to be an important business tool for years to come, the challenge perhaps is not to create a paperless office, but to create an office where paper and digital documents are woven together in an efficient, cost-effective, and easy-to-use workflow that revolutionizes the way people work. This is SSI Document Imaging in plain English. As you know, your company is responsible for keeping track of hundreds, if not thousands, of bills, contracts, leases, JOAs, division orders, title opinions, and revenue checks every month. This can be an overwhelming task. To make our point, let's look at the old way. Traditionally, each oil and gas company has its own unique system for processing and filing these papers for future reference, usually by some variation of vendor, owner, purchaser, well, rig, and/or job. As documents come in, they must be filed in the respective places for future reference. Occasionally, duplicates need to be made of these files for a different reference. This is a pain and takes a whole lot of time. Throughout the course of a normal work week, engineers, managers, and administration located in our company's different departments and offices need access to these files. As we already know, the documents each of us requires depends on each person's job responsibilities. For example, an engineer may want to take a look at an AFE, JIB, or well history file. A manager's job requires access to any number of contracts, and administration must have access to accounts payable, bills, and revenue in order to make the world go round. Anytime we require a document to answer a question or make a decision, we must get up from our desk and retrieve the document. Finding these files can take a lot of time, as the documents we are looking for are sometimes being used by someone else in the company. Occasionally, these files even go missing. Now, let's look at the new way, with SSI's document imaging software. When a document arrives, we scan each file into its respective basket. All baskets are set up and tailored to your company's needs based on your company's workflow. For example, we may set up an accounts payable, contracts, and revenue basket. After the document has been placed or scanned into its respective basket, these scanned documents are simply imported to the system by highlighting and clicking Add. Now that we have a virtual copy of each document, it is no longer necessary to distribute these documents into separate files, and we now no longer have to worry about fire, theft, or water damage. But it doesn't stop there. We must be sure that it is easy to find our documents in the future. Once in the system, no additional time or effort is required to index these documents, as indexing occurs automatically when we enter the invoice into the system. For example, in order to pull up information on a specific well, all that is necessary to retrieve the file is knowledge of vendor, well distribution, invoice number, AFE number, PO number, or check number. All scanned documents are accessible from any SSI user desktop and from any application. Whenever any of us requires a document, engineer, manager, or administrator alike, rather than getting up from our desk to retrieve a file, the document can easily be retrieved by a simple click. All inquiries can be answered immediately, and all questions can be answered on the first telephone call. All of our files can be retrieved and reviewed instantly, and we can fax, email, or reprint them at any time. Now you can focus on your job instead of focusing on becoming a paper master. Ah, sweet peace of mind. With the SSI document imaging software, all sorts of cool things are possible. Now that your documents are online and accessible, you have the capability to make all your voucher approvals electronically. We can now annotate and highlight questions or adjustments directly on the digital image, which comes in especially handy on contracts. This keeps everyone informed of the circumstances, and it's almost as if all parties were sitting in the same room. You can even set up dollar approval amounts, and the document imaging system will automatically route your GL distribution, well AFE, and well expenses to the correct people for approval. This speeds up turnaround time of the invoice approval process, as what used to take us several days can now be accomplished in a matter of minutes. So, document imaging from SSI does 4 things really well. 1. It reduces file space and protects your documents from fire, theft, and water damage. 2. It reduces manual retrieval and speeds up response time. 3. It captures and distributes paper-based information within work groups, departments, and remote offices. And 4. It speeds along the tedious process of voucher approvals. SSI is a document scanning solution that makes paper work, securely transforming paper documents into business value. I'm Greg Archibald, and this has been another installment of SSI TV.